Sorry, folks. Coffee's off the menu too. Now, we've all heard about identity theft, but coffee theft? It's a thing. When you savor that comforting sip of your morning joe, the last thing you'd expect is that your cup of liquid motivation might not even contain real coffee beans. Instead, it could be filled with a mix of cheap coffee, roasted chickpeas, barley, roasted corn, soybeans, burnt paper, and even sawdust. Sawdust in your coffee! Wanna know what that fake Joe does to your body? Fake coffee could contain harmful substances like mold, fungi, and bacteria that can cause serious health problems. Then there's the headaches that could make you regret every sip. And let's not forget that literal sawdust and burnt paper in your coffee can cause gastrointestinal problems like stomach upset, nausea, and diarrhea. Plus, you're getting no nutrition from drinking all that. Now, we're not saying your favorite Starbucks is in on the conspiracy or that your local Dunkin Donuts is selling you a sawdusty cup of joe. But when you're getting pre-ground coffee, know it's probably fake. Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Co., Nescafe, Great Value Ground Coffee, all proven to be fakes at one point or the other. Yeah, folks, that ain't coffee you want to be dunking your donuts in. Luckily for you, it's easy to spot fake coffee in the wild. If the can says 100% pure coffee, run faster than Bugs Bunny from The Hunter. 100% Arabica is what you should be looking for. 100% coffee just means that it's been mixed with lower quality Robusta beans. Also, if it comes with a best by date instead of a roasted on date, yeah, that's definitely a fake. The easiest way to stop yourself from sipping on sawdust coffee is to get a real bag of authentic coffee beans. It'll cost you though. A 10-ounce bag of Hawaiian Isles Kona coffee costs only a measly $9.18, where a bag of real beans you could grind yourself, like Lavazzia, could cost $14.98. The jump in price is obvious, but again, you'll definitely get your money's worth. As a bonus, you don't have to worry about Hawaiian Isles anymore. They shut down due to bankruptcy. Sure, it's horrible that coffee's been tampered with. Don't worry, at least you can still enjoy a beautiful drizzling of exquisite olive oil onto your sweet Wendy's Caesar salad, right? Sorry folks, pack your bags and go home because olive oil has been messed with too. Fake olive oil can contain everything from recycled oil scraped from deep fryers to chemicals you can't even pronounce. Trust us, your taste buds aren't the only ones getting fooled here. Even Captain Planet needs to take a look at this garbage. But of all the fake foods covered so far, fake olive oil might just be the most dangerous. It can be so toxic that it can cause severe illness and even death. In 1981 in Spain, more than 600 people died of toxic oil syndrome after ingesting toxic rapeseed oil, which was sold as olive oil. That's horrible! If you've got brands like Mezzetta, Safeway, Filippo Berio, and Prima Donna in your kitchen cabinet, throw them away. Those are brands to avoid. What's the price we pay for falling victim to these food deceptions? Well, aside from a trip to the hospital or the grave, a 16.9 fluid ounce bottle of Mezzetta Intense California Extra Virgin Olive Oil costs a heavy $59.89 if you decide to skip the walk to the store and buy it online. Problem is, Mezzetta has come under fire before for being fake. A 16.9 fluid ounce bottle of Carlini Extra Virgin Olive Oil, however, goes for about $24.98. More expensive, right? But it's definitely not repurposed cooking oil wrapped in a fancy bottle. This Foodspiracy comes with a lot of sweet deceptions, and honey is one of them. The jars in the supermarket might say it's 100% pure and all natural, but the honey world is buzzing with sweet nothings, and we're about to spill the sneaky secrets. You see, the honey on your grocery store shelf might be harboring an identity crisis. Some honey isn't pure at all. It's been adulterated, diluted, or even watered down with sneaky additives like corn syrup or sugar syrups. It's a bee-refying deception. If it stays liquid forever, it's a red flag. Real honey crystallizes over time, turning into a thicker, more granulated form. But the fake stuff is as consistent as your neighbor's overly cheery holiday decorations year-round. Authentic honey also carries the unique flavors of the flowers the bees harvested nectar from. Fake honey, it's more like a monotone beep. No complexity, no richness, just a bland sweetness that's about as exciting as a silent movie. China and Turkey are the main honey fakers, and most people don't know that because they don't know where their honey comes from. The local beekeepers? Nope. Maybe a nice bee farm 2 states over? Also nope. The US is the world's largest honey importer, with approximately 205 kilograms of the bees were imported in just 2022 alone. And 74% of that fake honey is brought from China. Now you know. While the real deal contains enzymes, antioxidants, and other goodies that make it not just a sweet treat, but a superfood, fake honey is just empty calories. So, how much do you get for the fake stuff? Well, a brand like Nature Nate's markets its honey as 100% pure, raw, and unfiltered honey to make you think it comes straight from the bee's home and right onto your grocery shelves. Really, it's been heated for easier processing. It's not raw and contains high levels of hydroxymethylfurfural, or HMF, an organic compound derived from dehydration of certain sugars that's absent in fresh honey. A 32-ounce bottle of it costs $9.36. On the other hand, a 16-ounce bottle of Desert Creek Honey Raw Texas honey costs $11.99. Again, it's more expensive, but at least you know it's the real deal. You'll be shelling out your hard-earned cash for a bottle of the good stuff, and you won't be getting a fancy knockoff like those Gucci bags. And for pancake enthusiasts, brace yourselves for the sticky revelations coming your way. Your maple syrup isn't safe. Yup, the gold of breakfast tables, the beloved companion to pancakes, waffles, and French toast. Fake! Some sneaky brands are selling you little more than sugar syrup with artificial flavorings. Fake maple syrup contains high fructose corn syrup, caramel coloring, and a whole lot of chemicals that have never seen a maple tree. It's a sticky situation that pancake lovers should be aware of. Just more empty calories to go with your flapjacks. Your favorite brands are all in on the jig. Log Cabin, Aunt Jemima, even sweet old Mrs. Buttersworth's. In fact, back in 2011, McDonald's was busted for using fake maple syrup in Vermont, right in the maple syrup country. McDonald's really insulted Canada with that one, and they thought they wouldn't get caught. The authorities almost shut them down for it, and they had to swap the fake out for the real deal in their Vermont locations. But Vermont isn't in America, so next time you're eating that nice maple oatmeal at McD's or stacking up pancakes at IHOP, take a good look at that sweet syrup they're drizzling. There's only one easy way to tell if your syrup is the real deal. Read the label. Real maple syrup has only one ingredient, maple sap. The fake stuff has a whole lot of ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, cellulose gum, sorbitol, sucralose, and that iconic caramel color to fool you. If that's not enough for you, pure maple syrup is much thinner, more liquidly than the fake stuff. Plus, it has a much shorter shelf life since it comes with no preservatives. The last identifier is the price. A typical 12.5-ounce bottle of the real deal starts around $8, while a bottle of the fake stuff could come as cheap as $2.49. What else has been messed up by the greed of corporations? Well, you've probably been doing a lot of rethinking since you started this Foodspiracy. But here's another one. One word: cinnamon. That's right, folks. That spice with a warm, comforting flavor that makes your morning latte feel like a hug in a cup. Fake! What you thought was cinnamon is actually cassia. Its close but less refined cousin. While it looks and tastes similar, cassia lacks the delicate complexity of true cinnamon, which comes from the Cinnamomum verum tree, or just Ceylon. When you buy ground cinnamon, they never say what type it is, because it's definitely fake. And here's the kicker, folks. Not only is cassia less flavorful, but it also contains higher levels of coumarin, a natural compound that can be toxic to the liver in large quantities. These people are really trying to kill us! If you want some of the good stuff, it'll be a good idea to buy raw Ceylon cinnamon sticks. You can tell them apart because Ceylon comes with many paper-thin layers. Cassia cinnamon sticks come with a few thick layers. Remember to avoid grounded cinnamon altogether, or at least look at the ingredients to see if they tell you which type they're selling. A 1-pound bag of Ceylon could cost up to $20, so you might be tempted to reach for that $1.18 Walmart cinnamon, but don't. So next time you're baking those cinnamon rolls, you might be experiencing a cinnamon con job. Truffle oil is another food that's been touched by the forgery train. Originally, truffle oil was high-quality olive oil infused with black or white truffles. But today, most, if not all, of the stuff is made synthetically with two ingredients like 2,4-dithiapentane, an aromatic molecule that gives truffles their distinctive smell. It's regular olive oil with synthetic truffle flavorings. Those are the ingredients. Plus, you don't even know which olive oil they're mixing it in with. And we already know the dangers of fake olive oil. It's like serving up a unicorn-shaped piñata at your party and calling it the real deal. Whole Foods sell truffle oil brands like the Rosario, and they're expensive as spaceships with one tiny bottle costing about $14. Bottom line is, hold off on buying truffle oil for now. It's not worth it. But it gets even trufflier. Is that even a word? Truffle oil is often so overpowering that it drowns out the flavors of other ingredients in your dish, like a spotlight hogging diva at a talent show. How about you subscribe to the channel if you want to know what other conspiracies are swimming in your food? So aliens, you might be thinking, how do I become a detective foodie and uncover the real deal among the imposters? Well, strap on your foodie magnifying glass and let's sleuth around like Inspector Gadget. We're gonna give you some tips on how to sniff out food fraud. First off, like Sherlock, read the labels. Look for suspicious ingredients, vague descriptions, or excessive use of terms like natural flavors and artificial additives. Next up, know your sources. Sherlock always knew his informants, and aliens are far better than him. Get to know your local farmers markets, trusted brands, and reputable online suppliers. Supporting local and transparent producers is often your safest bet. Next, like a bloodhound, sniff out the truth. Real foods often have distinctive scents that those frauds can't copy. So give your nose a workout, sniff that olive oil, inhale the aroma of spices, and let your senses be your guide. Learn to trust your taste buds. If something tastes off, too sweet, or overly processed, it might be a counterfeit. Authentic flavors shine through. Remember, certifications are clues. Look out for stamps like USDA Organic or Pt.2 or Protected Designation of Origin. They can be your allies in this great detective work. Don't forget to be wary of deals that look too good to be true. If a price seems ridiculously low for a high-quality product, it's probably a red flag.